Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're back in the world of Where Winds Meet, and in today's video I'm going to be showing off some of the best mystic arts that can be attained in the Kaifeng region. Recently Kaifeng opened up, and this is a beautiful but massive area in Where Winds Meet that has a lot of hidden secrets, underground locations, bustling cities, and overall one of the best places to get some of the strongest mystic arts in the entire game. I'm talking about control skills, burst skills, single target DPS skills, defensive buffs, you name it, you can get them all here in Kaifeng, and I'm going to be breaking down exactly where you need to go to find them. I don't want to waste any more time, so let's dive right on into the first mystic art. Alright, first thing first, we're going to be taking a look at Ghostbind, and what this is a control key breaking skill that essentially will jump from target to target up to 6, and it will stun them for about 5 seconds, making them unable to move, and of course breaking their key, which will bound their key bars, and is going to disable the key region and deal some extra damage to enemies who actually have that. Now the thing is, it is ineffective against powerful enemies and players, but for a lot of the named enemies, the weaker sub bosses, and just general exploration when you're out in the open world, this is going to be a perfect skill to just control the battlefield, especially when you're pumping those camps. Now this is probably one of the easiest to get. You're going to make your way to the Forsaken Quarter, and located here just north of the Unbound Caravan, you will notice a lady just kind of sitting inside of her home. You're going to just speak to her, and she's going to tell you to help her out because some people are chasing her. After a few dialogue moments, she's going to basically give you the skill, and you're going to go behind them, do the quest, which is just pressing F on them and it will bind them, and then she's going to betray you. You're going to come out of the bind and basically get the skill very easily. This again is probably one of the best skills you can pick up for control because it's so cheap and it's just so easy to pick up. Now on to our next skill, and this is going to be more of a defensive shield skill that is actually really good for tanks or anyone who's looking to just be a little bit more defensive, and it's called Golden Body. And what this does is for a total of 8 seconds you're going to get the buff called Golden Body, and this is just going to put a shield on you, give you damage reduction, and grant some fortitude, making you very defensive. And you're going to actually get a little bit more healing bonuses as well. So if someone is healing you, you're going to get a little bit more inbound healing. And for the most part, I think that's pretty straightforward. It's just a very defensive skill that a lot of tank players or someone who maybe take a little bit too much damage, you can activate this skill and it will just basically protect you. It does cost 60 vitality, so it is pretty hefty. You need to get a good amount of vitality. Now what you're looking for is to make your way to the Grand Imperial Temple, and you're going to make your way to the courtyard. Now at the back of the courtyard you'll notice like some Buddhists inside of a home, and you're looking for this field or looking for this guy specifically who's kind of practicing in the yard who have this skill. Now if you come here at a certain time, which is usually at the later hours, he actually may not be here, but all you need to do is go over to the right side and change the time to about 7 AM. That's the earliest I think he'll actually show up, and he'll be practicing in the yard. From here you're going to use your Celestial Seas ability and take it from him. It was like 90% chance to get it whenever I was doing it, and I don't really have anything built into this, so generally speaking you probably won't have a hard time getting it. And from there you just simply learn the skill, and just like that you have one of the better defensive skills in the entire game. Next, we're going to be taking a look at Dragon's Breath. This is one of the best single target burst skills in the entire game, and it actually does some decent AoE if you can line it up properly. And what this does is you're just going to go into an intoxicated state. You're going to breathe out fire with ki, dealing some damage over time, and it gains 15% damage reduction and some fortitude whenever you're casting this skill, making it a little bit easier for you to get it off. So it's actually fairly defensive when you're casting it, and it does a ton of damage. Now the thing with this skill is it's actually very good because it's comboed with Drunken Poet. This is another skill that will actually put you in the intoxicated state for about 10 vitality, and you can use skills that will strike enemies, and it will consume some vitality, but it will inflict Drunken Haze. And this is going to be one of the few combo skills that will combo well Drunken Poet into the Flame Breath, as these two are like some of the best skills together. So I'm going to show you how to get Drunken Poet because it's very easy, and then I'm going to show you where to get the Flame Breath. So where you're going to find this guy is in the basic zone that you first start in, and I think he has 2 locations. I'm not sure if it depends on where you are in the story, but anyway, there's going to be 2 locations. I've seen him. One is going to be in the Blissful Retreat location, or are going to be at the Harvestful Village. And what you're looking for is the Honest Merchant. And what he does is sell these crimson wines. You can buy about 5 of these every single day, and all you really need to do is just buy all of them up. They're extremely cheap, and consume all of them. Once you keep consuming them and you get drunk enough, you will get a prompt showing you that you have this ability, and that's really all you need. You have the Drunken stand. Now when it comes to the fire breath, you're going to make your way to Kaifeng over at the East Cross Street, and this is where the fairground is. You'll notice a lot of different individuals hanging out there, and you're looking for this one NPC here. His name is Lu Jiu, I believe that's how you say it, and you're going to just talk to him, and he's going to just send you on a task to once again get something for him. You're going to get this item essentially and bring it back to him, and then he's going to teach you the skill. Where the person you need to get this said item from is located here on the map. You're going to be at the main south gate, and he's going to just kind of be standing there next to this house. I'll have it playing on screen once again, but he'll be the one to the far left. And just like you did for the previous golden skill, you're just going to steal this travel log from him. Once again, a 90% chance to get, so it should be extremely easy to get for the most part. And then you simply make your way back to the carnival or the fairgrounds, and you just give it to him, and that's all you really need to complete the quest. Now if you didn't immediately get it, you need to go to your journal and then go into the Wandering Tales, and then you need to select his specific wandering tale to actually redeem it, and then you will get the dragon breath skill to, you know, just use it. Next, we're going to be taking a look at a combo technique that actually has really good single target control, even has a little bit of AoE control, called Wolflike Frenzy. And what this does is you're going to pull out a pole, slam it down on the ground, which actually will stagger a lot of enemies. You will also do rapid strikes on the ground that does a decent amount of damage, and then you're going to swipe upward, knocking enemies up into the sky. I find this to be very good for just controlling enemies, and there are a lot of synergies and buffs that require you to knock enemies up that will give you a buff after you knock them in the air. So this is going to be not only a decent single target damage dealing skill, not the best but good, but it's also going to give you a mountain of control. So this one is a really good one to pick up. It only costs 35 vitality, so it's actually fairly cheap as well. Now this one is a little bit tricky, as this one is going to take us back to the Forsaken Quarter, but this one's going to also need us to go to the Ghostlit Market, which is a underground city, which is absolutely insane. Another underground city that I don't even think a lot of players realize, that's full of exploration that you need to check out. I highly recommend. But in order to get here, what you need to do is go back to the Forsaken Quarter, and what you're looking for is this coffin shop, and this is going to have a coffin shop event, and you go to the coffin, activate it, and it's going to send you underground to this underground market. Now we're not going to go into the Ghostlit Market, unfortunately, but make sure you pick up the Ghostlit Market teleporter, because we're going to be coming back here in just a moment to get some other things. Now what you're actually looking for is to jump on top of the entrance into the location, and then go to the back wall, because at the back, basically where you came in from, you can shimmy up to the top and go into this like hidden cave in the back. You're going to simply run all the way through the cave. There's not going to be any enemies, at least not in my game. I didn't see any enemies, and you're going to run all the way to the end. You'll see a chest there. Open the chest, and just like that, you have Wolflike Frenzy, a very solid skill that's actually really easy to pick up. Last but not least, we're going to be taking a look at Ghostly Step. This is going to be a very, very good buff for players who are maybe into PvP, or you're someone who really like taking advantage of dodging. This is going to be the perfect skill for you. And what this does is give you the Mirage state, and what it does lasts for 20 seconds. It's going to reduce the endurance cost of ground-based dodge by 40%, so that's a massive damage reduction on costs, and it's going to slightly increase untargetable duration. So once again, if you're playing against players, it's going to make it a little bit harder for them to target you. Now from the Ghostlit Market teleport location, you're going to make your way to essentially the mountain in front of you. It's going to be located to the east. You're going to just make your way up and just keep shimmying your way all the way up to the top, and as you approach, you will notice that there's a cave that you need to go through. This is the Cloud Walk Spire, and you need to make your way into it, and keep in mind this is a pretty long cave, so you're going to be in here for a minute. You're going to have to shimmy down carefully, because this is one of those areas that actually disable your falling and jumping, and you can die from the fall damage, so just be careful here. Once again, just like how you're seeing me do on screen, you're just going to be shimmying down as safe as possible, because again, you don't want to die at the bottom if you hit the water. Once you drop down to the platforms, there are going to be 2 locations you can go, one in the back and one in the front. The one in the back is going to lead to another treasure chest, and then you're going to go back to the other side, which is going to be the progression path. From here, you're going to spend most of your time jumping on the sides and jumping from pillars to pillars. There are a lot of like jump locations you're going to be jumping to, so just be mindful of that. Once you get to this location here, you'll notice a wall that needs to be broken. Pull out your fire arrow, there's a ton on the ground, and this can let you zip too. And then you're going to go ahead and grab the chest there, and then continue on zipping to the next locations. Once you get to the first large major gate, there will be an area that will drop down, but make sure to check the roof above because there is actually going to be another chest up there. And then you're going to make your way to this bridge. Personally, I jumped immediately on top of the bridge the moment I can get to the top. Now I looked up to the left and jumped up there as well because there is going to be other treasure chests up there. Grab that treasure chest and then you're going to make your way even higher once again. And there's going to be another hidden chest at the very tip top in the back that you need to pick up there as well. From here, you're going to essentially do a jump down. This one can be a little bit dangerous, but if you time it correctly, you can just dash jump to the other side. And from here, there's going to be a room that's going to essentially force you to move extremely fast. You have a minute to get through. You're going to have to go as fast as possible. I was able to finish this room with like I believe 30 seconds left, but keep in mind there are a ton of floors that can make you fall down. And once you get to the very end, just like that, you'll have access to the final chest that will unlock this ghost step ability. And there you have it, guys. That is some of the best mystic arts that I found in Kaifeng thus far. Each of these are going to give players a ton of options, whether you're a tank, a DPS, someone who loves PvP or PvE. There is a ton of options in Kaifeng and probably even more secrets to discover. Let me know down in the comments if there's a skill that you think is worth mentioning. Also include where they're located to help other players out. As always, guys, I live stream just short of every single day here on YouTube as well as Twitch. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to stop by. I usually answer pretty much every question. Don't forget to leave me a like as well as subscribe to the channel. I have a ton more guides coming out as well as just high quality content that I'm sure a lot of you are going to like in the future. So show your support, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you all being here. And just like that, young masters, I'll see you in the next one very soon.